So it all stems from my stepdad's mother, Brenda. My mom, 42, and stepdad, 47, have been together since I, nearly adult male, was about 5. Brenda has always been very clear that she does not consider me to be a part of her family / one of her grandkids, and that she has no intentions of treating me as such. She avoids talking to me when she can help it, and if she has to, she treats me in much the same way she treats the kids of family friends. So Mom got largely the same treatment for the first couple of years, till she gave Brenda another actual grandchild, tween male. It also means I get left out of everything Brenda pays for. She happens to be wealthy, so throughout our childhood, this meant things like my siblings, 18, teen, and tween, going to private schools where Brenda paid their tuition fees. In contrast, I went to the local comprehensive, and my siblings always had better toys and gadgets and stuff than I did. They also go on a family holiday each year, which I don't get to go to. These are usually really fancy holidays. I'm talking first-class flights, 5-star resorts, luxury cruises, the works. Before now, whenever the family went on holiday, I would just hang out with my granddad. He never had a lot of money, but he always found something for us to do for that week or two. It was just he and I. It was never anything flashy like the family was doing, but it was always so fun and special. However, Granddad was sick for the past few years and not up for our trips, so we just hung out at his house. But he died last autumn. I was absolutely broken by his passing. I lost my granddad and my best friend all in one. I still haven't gotten over it. Anyway, that brings us to now. Brenda recently announced the date for this year's family holiday, 2 weeks with the third day of the first week being my birthday. If Granddad was still around, I wouldn't have minded so much. They've been away for my birthday before, but it didn't matter if I could spend it with him. But this year will be my first birthday ever without him. I don't want to be by myself, so I've asked my mom if she wouldn't mind staying at home with me this year. She said no, and at first I just accepted it. But after thinking about it, I really didn't want to be by myself. So I asked again and said that if she did go, I would be super upset and probably not talk to her for a while. Mom and stepdad both got mad at me and said that I was being a selfish idiot, just trying to ruin their trip because I was jealous. They say I'm an adult now, so it's silly for me to care this much about doing stuff on my birthday anyway. And my stepdad also called me a brat. So now I feel even worse than I felt about being home alone. And I want to know if I'm really being a selfish idiot. Not the idiot. No offense, but your mom is an utter witch. She's allowed you to be treated like dirt and is calling you selfish? I can't believe any parent would accept going on luxury holidays and leaving one child behind. I get that for specific money situations like inheritance or school fees, etc., your stepfather's mom would want it to go to her blood grandkids. But as far as holidays, etc., your mom should have said, all of my kids or none at all, and then taken you all to a cheaper place that she could afford. And so sad to hear about your grandfather. I would have said the same for school fees. I can't even imagine treating my child like this. The school thing is wild to me because he is her grandchild by marriage. I'm so sorry, OP, that your parents are so awful when they should love you unconditionally and fight for you to be treated fairly. Hopefully, you will soon be completely independent of them and never have to deal with their petty, nasty behavior again. Your mom has allowed you to be neglected since you were 5. That's despicable. No wonder she's throwing the selfish label at you. It's her guilty conscience telling you what she thinks of herself. And she is utterly selfish. 'Cause remember, Brenda is rich. So once the mom got Brenda's approval, she didn't waste time. She jumped on the extravagant trips herself. Let the son be damned. If she was a good mom, she wouldn't let the family in her son's life in the first place. How could your mom choose to go on a fancy vacation over her own child? Did she marry rich on purpose? I am so sorry. Some people just shouldn't have kids or be allowed to raise the ones they have. She sounds terrible. You've done nothing wrong at all. Brenda is a grade A mall. Guess you have permission to ignore them on their birthdays. Don't be around. I'm a female teen, and my baby brother is a toddler. I'm basically a live-in babysitter for him, because my dad is a contractor. So I think and work odd hours, and my mom drives and delivers for Uber. I can't do after-school activities because my mom says she has to go on a run as soon as I get home. Sometimes she's gone for hours. Sometimes she comes home just to leave and go on another run. My dad usually gets home late or sometimes is gone for days because his work is far and it's too far a drive to go back and forth. Sometimes I even have to stay home from school if my mom has things to do, like a court date or something. Weekends are the worst because my mom just comes and goes on runs all day long. I can never do anything because I have to be home for my brother. I never thought about being paid until I read some things, and I realized I should be paid if it's taking away from things I actually want to do. I was going to ask for $10 an hour, but my grandmother said that was a lot to ask for my parents, who already provided so much for me. So I decided on $5 an hour. I told them I wouldn't even need to be paid after school if mom was only gone for like an hour. But if it's the weekend or 2+ hours, I'd like to be paid. My parents say that family doesn't pay family and that I shouldn't be paid for hanging out with my brother, but it's more like I'm responsible for him. It's hard because he acts out a lot, and whenever he does something wrong, they blame it on me because I should have been watching him better. But it's exhausting getting home from school and having no time to de-stress. I feel like I'm already doing a lot for them and can't even get a job because I have to watch my brother all day. But then they say it's not like I'm old enough to get a real job anyway. I decided to put my foot down and demand that I get paid for watching him, at least on the weekends. I don't think I have a lot of leverage though, because my mom can just leave whenever she wants, and I can't really say anything about it. But also I feel bad because my parents work hard and provide for everything. I just wish they didn't put this responsibility on me all the time. Am I the idiot? You're not the idiot to ask for some compensation for your time, especially since you're a local parentis. But it also sounds like your family's working a lot to support the household, almost to the point of abandonment. I suspect the family can't afford to give you anything, else why would they always be out working? Thus curious if they're putting every cent back into the household or like hitting their vices. In any case, your grandmother is a saint. We're not rich, but we're definitely not poor. I don't know if it's a vice, but my mom does spend a lot of money on fashion, like nice purses and shoes and jewelry and stuff. I don't know about my dad though. We've always been comfortable, I think. Your mother seems to earn more than $5, and instead of hiring a nanny, they decide to cut your childhood in half. If this babysitting was occasional or predictable, I'd say that you're a member of the household and they are out earning money to provide for you and your brother, and you should do your part. But sounds like you're an on-demand nanny and your parents are making an unreasonable demand, and family doesn't pay family is complete BS. But I'm not sure money is the answer here, or that it really solves your problem or improves your quality of life. That doesn't sound like babysitting. It sounds like they're asking you to raise your sibling for them. I can't believe they'd make you miss school and never give you a chance to have activities instead of someone else to watch the kid for a day. They're clearly too cheap to pay for childcare and are just using you as free labor. If they hired someone else, they'd pay much more than $10. My best friend and I, both 24 female, have known each other since we were 7, and we've made plans for our entire lives about how once we grow up, we're going to be single and live with each other platonically and be the single rich aunts of our families, etc. We made those plans forever, and it kept going, and it felt so real. Those plans seemed legit, and we were in the process of actually fulfilling those dreams of ours. So we lived together for a short time at a place my dad owns, free of rent and everything, and we just bought our necessities. It was the dream life. That was until 3 years ago when my friend met her now fiance, and they recently got engaged. They moved in together a little before their engagement, and I was broken to say the least, but I sucked it up and tried to be happy for her. A week ago, she announced that she and her fiance had an official date for the wedding, and she was also excited that after the wedding, they'll officially buy their own house. That's when I felt the most heartbroken, and I started sobbing. I told her that I was so happy for her, but I kind of mourned our friendship in the way it used to be, and I mourned the plans we had and the life we wanted to create. She tried to comfort me by saying that their new house will have an extra bedroom that they will use as a guest bedroom until they decide to have children, and that I can visit them anytime I like, and that she doesn't forget me or neglect me and wants to include me in her life. Here's where I might be the idiot. After she told me that, I told her that I appreciated the gesture, but it was not the same. I'll be a guest for her and not share an actual house with her, and it's not the same for me. And that's the part that bothers me, that the plan included just us two, no one else. And now I'm just a guest for her. I actually miss our past plans. Then she started crying and yelled at me for being ungrateful. The words she told me, "Are you seriously going to make me feel guilty over this and moving on with my life? What the heck is wrong with you? Seriously, I offer you the chance to spend time at my future house anytime you wish, and my fiance and I are willing to welcome you with open arms. And you do this? You're such an ungrateful brat. I can't believe you're doing this." Needless to say, I was both speechless and I was in tears the entire time. I don't know if I'm wrong or not, because on the one hand, I feel betrayed that she abandoned our plans after making them together for so long. But on the other hand, I feel like an idiot for making her feel guilty. Am I the idiot? I'm not sure if I call you an idiot, but you are way too dependent on this friend and immature. You were attached at the hip and had no boundaries if you felt entitled to her attention all the time. She's moving into the next phase of her life. It isn't easy, but this is one of those times where you need to vent to someone else or a therapist, because she's offered you all she can, and you're still making her feel bad about it. You are the idiot. Do you think you'll platonically shack up with a friend and live your life out, never needing anyone else? You are incredibly immature and lack foresight and world experience. Sorry to be harsh, but her response is understandable. Something tells me OP didn't want it to be platonic. Perhaps she's in love with her friend. If you truly love her as an important person in your life, you need to support her. Otherwise, you won't even have her as a friend. It's ridiculous to think plans you made when you were kids would stay the same. So instead of being happy for your best friend and her good news, you made it about you. Welcome to the real world. So 3 months ago, my girlfriend's friend left her boyfriend, and he was not happy about it. So she's been bouncing around places where he wouldn't think to look for her, and one of those is now my apartment. My girlfriend wanted to move her into hers, but she felt that was too obvious. So she asked me to let her stay with me. I agreed, as I thought this would only be a short time. It turns out she's staying with me for 2 months now. Now this is already a long time, but this is compounded by the fact that she's an awful roommate. She's very inconsiderate. She blasts loud music at 1 in the morning, doesn't clean up after herself, walks around in her underwear and sometimes just a long shirt, and says it's weird that I'm uncomfortable with this. She expects me to clean up after her, eats my food, and is just every lousy part of a roommate. I've talked to my girlfriend about this, and she says that this is just the way she is, and begs me I let her stay there so I can keep her safe. I told her that I'm willing to let her stay if she starts paying rent since she's been here so long, or start contributing to chores. She hasn't. Yesterday, she broke the final straw. I recently purchased some certified steak for $95. I love steak, and I plan to let this be part of my celebration dinner for finishing grad school. I had my slab frozen and sealed for the last month. I thawed it out to chow down on this Thursday, and it was in my fridge. So I go to my shift work, come home, and my apartment smells like burnt meat. I walk into the kitchen. There's the bag open that I was storing the beef in. I immediately got angry and confronted her. She says that she tried to cook it, but did it wrong and burned it. I saw red. This was nearly $100, and just the principle of this act made me livid. So I went off on her. I told her that she was a selfish witch, and told her that she needed to be out of my apartment in 30 minutes, or I was calling the police to make her leave. She did. She packed her stuff and got out. When my girlfriend came over, she was angry. She told me that what I've done was unacceptable, and that she was trying to avoid her crazy ex, and that I should be more compassionate. I told her that this was all her fault, and I wouldn't have kicked her out if she had treated my home with respect. We argued for like an hour, and we haven't talked since. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. This girl is no longer hiding from a crazy ex. She's taking advantage of you. Your girlfriend is also an idiot for expecting that her friend can freeload, steal your food, rack up bills, and disturb your peace just because you have a relationship with her. She owes you an apology, and if her friend doesn't pay, maybe girlfriend should. At this point, I'm starting to doubt her part of the story with the ex. If I were hiding from a crazy ex, I'd be bending over backward to help those helping me. From this story, I gathered that she's probably the crazy one. She isn't hiding because nobody's looking. It's probably true, poor people, the equivalent of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. I'm wondering if the ex really was the crazy one. She sounds like a leech, and it's quite possible she messed up big time and owes the ex some money or something. OP, I would question your girlfriend's judgment in general, including why she's friends with such a disrespectful loser. Her friend should have treated you so much better, especially since her behavior is a reflection of her friendship, regard for your girlfriend. These two girls sound like they're experts at taking advantage of nice people. Seriously, that was a food crime too. I don't know what would have been worse, her eating it and enjoying it instead of OP, or the fact that she burnt it to a crisp and no one got to enjoy it at all. I can't even describe how angry I am on your behalf. What a selfish person. Your girlfriend can go kick rocks with her. So here it goes. I've been dating my boyfriend, David, 27 male, for 2 years. We live together. He's really a sweetheart that goes out of his way for me. I want to be surprised in a relationship, so he decided to prepare for my birthday weekend and party, and my mom helped him plan as well. All in all, it was great. He got me a Nintendo Switch, which I really wanted, 4 controllers so I could invite my friends, and 5 games for it, each and every one that I wanted. He took me out to dinner with my best friends and my mom. The next day, while I was still hungover, he went grocery shopping, made appetizers, created pizzas from scratch, and got me my favorite birthday cake. He got a big happy birthday banner. Really amazing. Except, I got mad at him. He didn't do the decorations very well. He only got 1 banner and no balloons. I felt so disappointed. Luckily, my friend got balloons for me. Then at the party, he was cooking and not dancing with me. So I drank too much, and I got really mad at him, saying I didn't get how he could screw up decorations like that, and how there were way too many appetizers, which upset me, because now we have a full fridge. I know that it sounds entitled. It's just that I wanted my B-Day to be perfect. Am I the idiot? Are you freaking serious? You're upset because he didn't decorate to your standards for your birthday? He bought you a Switch. He made you dinner. Get over yourself. You are the idiot. And if someone winds up proposing to you, you'll likely be a bridezilla. Hope you wake up and apologize to your boyfriend before he dumps you, OP. This can't be real. At 20-something, you're behaving like a spoiled little brat. You are the idiot. You're in your 20s and start a fight with what sounds like a very considerate partner while you're celebrating your birthday? Apparently, no one has told you this. You are not a child anymore. So unless your birthday is 30, 40, 50, etc., nobody cares about your birthday. No one. You could benefit from a gratitude journal. Look for things to be grateful for, and you won't get mad over the petty stuff you just got mad at. You owe everyone involved an apology. They tried, did really nice things for you, and spent time with you, but you were an ungrateful brat.